Good morning, everyone. Welcome if this is the first time at one of my classes. It's an all levels class. And so I'll be telling modifications. And we're going to be focusing on staying calm and healthy and building our immunity. Let's see. And there are some optional props that you can use. If you have a yoga mat, it just makes it a lot more comfortable for you. So hopefully everyone has one of those. You can use a block or some kind of thick book. These are all optional. This one I do recommend having some kind of strap or scarf or belt. That's long enough so that you can have your arms about this far apart just to bring the strap over your head and behind you. Also, if you have like a Mexican blanket or any kind of thick blanket like this or multiple blankets, we'll be using that optionally. And any kind of big pillow or bolster, if you have that, then great. Please feel free to participate in the chat. Let me know who you are and how you're doing. If you have any kind of... Oh, it looks like maybe my chat isn't working. I'll try. I'm just going to say hi in the chat just to make sure it's working. It's saying it's unable to connect. Anyway, if you can't hear me or you have any comments like that, please let me know in the chat or by text. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and get started. Yeah, also let me know of any questions. Okay, so we're going to start just sitting in a comfortable cross-legged position and just move around a little bit until you find that you feel balanced from front to back and from side to side. And then we're just going to start with some seated cat and cows. So we're going to place our hands on our knees, round the spine, look down towards your feet as you exhale. And then as you inhale, just come forward, open the chest, and arch your back. So exhale around the spine, look down. And inhale, coming forward, opening the chest. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And then we're going to come back to center. Just do some neck rolls. Make sure you go in both directions. Good, and then place one hand on the opposite knee and look over your shoulder. Place the other hand behind you, just for a light twist. Inhale back to center, exhale as you twist in the opposite direction. Good, and inhale back to center. And we're just gonna come into standing. Hopefully my head isn't cut off. It's kind of a low ceiling and small room, so I apologize for that. So come into a standing position. You can either have your big toes touching or your feet hip distance apart, whichever is more comfortable for you. Toes touching challenges the balance a little bit more. And again, just rock back and forth and from side to side until you feel really centered and grounded. Good. And you're just going to scan up from your feet through your whole body. So toes spread wide apart, knees soft and slightly bent, belly in and up, tailbone long. So I'll just demonstrate. You want a neutral tilt to your pelvis, so not like this, not like this, but just bringing your belly in and your tailbone down. So we're going to be keeping our core engaged throughout the practice. And then just continuing, nice long spine, long neck, shoulders back and down, chest open, chin parallel to the floor. And just start to notice your breath, bringing your attention to the breath. Noticing how your body moves with each inhalation and exhalation. And start to feel an expansion with each inhalation and a releasing and softening with each exhalation. Imagine that with each inhalation, your breath is going up through your feet, through your legs and spine, up to the top of your head, expanding your chest, lengthening your spine. And with each exhalation, your breath is going down through the spine, all the way down to your feet and just exiting onto the floor. And now starting to shift to the Ujjayi breath. It's a yogic breath where you make an ocean sound in the back of your throat. It's a very calming and healing breath, and it also slows down your breath and really helps to incorporate your breath with your movement. So I recommend it. If you don't like using it, of course don't. But I'll just give a short instruction on how to use the Ujjayi breath. So just hold your hand out in front of you and pretend that it's a mirror or a window or your glasses, and then pretend that you're fogging up the mirror to clean it. So you're kind of closing the back of your throat as if you're whispering and making a sound. So now you want to do that, but with your mouth closed. And you should still hear kind of a sound in your head. So exhaling and inhaling through the nose, making that sound in the back of your throat. And that should really slow down your breath and also bring your attention more into your breath.
How is it that? He's just really breathing. Like he cares way more about it.
So just breathing like that for a moment. And while you do that, I'm just going to check this again. I don't know why it's saying that I can't connect to chat. Maybe it's because it's the first time I've streamed.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. Oh, but Jurassic Park 3, nobody's trying to start a park.
Okay, well, anyway, if you hopefully, I mean, if you have something to say, if you need to tell me something or ask me something, just text or email. And I'll try to check that every once in a while. Okay, so we're breathing. With your next exhalation, bring your hands down to your sides, palms facing out. Make sure your chest is open, shoulders away from the ears. And starting to move with your breath, inhale, reach up, look up towards your hands. And exhale, float the arms back down. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, float the arms down. Inhale, reach up. And exhale. And just moving with your breath. You don't have to follow me, just move with your own breath. Inhaling up and exhaling down.
It's still a combination.
Good, and then just stop at a T shape and just do some shoulder rolls in both directions. And continue breathing. Good, and inhale, reach up. And this time, clasp your hands above your head, pointing your index fingers up. Look up towards the ceiling, really reaching in both directions. So imagine you're also reaching through your feet. So you should feel a stretch through your whole torso, all the way through your core. And then exhale, just reach to one side, look in the opposite direction. And inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach. So you also want to keep this side of your body long. Try to avoid collapsing into it like that. And to do that, really reach through your fingertips. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale back to center. Change the clasp of your hands so that your dominant thumb is underneath. And reach. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach. Good. Back to center. Again, change the clasp of your hands. Reaching one more time to each side. Good. Back to center. Float your arms down. And if you have a strap or a scarf or anything, then go ahead and grab that. Or you can run and get one if you haven't gotten one already. And just bring your hands about this far apart. So you want the strap to be taut between your hands. You don't want it to be loose, but you also want to be able to bring the strap over your head and behind you. So that's all we're doing. Just inhale up, open the chest, exhale, bring the strap in front of you, look down towards the floor. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, look down. So this is also kind of a variation of cat and cow. Inhale, open the chest, and exhale, look down towards the floor. Deep inhalations, full exhalations. Good, and now just bring the strap up over your head, and we're gonna reach in each direction this time with the strap. So really pull with your lower hand, feeling a deep stretch through your armpits and rib cage. Inhale back to center and exhale, other side. Inhale back to center, and now we're just gonna keep the strap here and just move in any way that feels good to you, getting into any kinks in your back or shoulders. Feeling deeply. Good. And go ahead and release the strap, just place it to the side. And we're going to place our hands right over the knees and just sit, bringing the hips back. And just start to move, drawing circles in your hips and knees, or figure eights. Keep your belly in. Keep your core engaged.
Well, it's because the white people in Australia and South Africa, but in America, people can't, well, not only because there's a lot of people who aren't at all.
Good. You can also get it like all the way into your ankles. So just getting any kinks out in your lower body.
Yeah, that's true. But what we think of is just a normal.
Good. And straighten your legs. And just hinge forward, bring your belly in, and just hang there. And this time, it's okay to round your spine. Just drop your head around your spine, because we're kind of just getting into the spine and lower back. But after this, we're going to be doing the forward pulls a little differently. But for now, just hang, feel your lower back decompress. Feel your hamstrings start to lengthen. And then just drop your fingers towards the floor and slowly start to roll up to standing, head coming up last. And reach up. And exhale. Hands to heart. Okay, let's step to the fronts of our mats. And find mountain pose, which is the pose that we were in at the beginning of the class. Just either big toes touching or feet hip distance apart. Nice tall posture, belly in. And bring your attention back to your breath. And we're going to start sun salutations. So we're just going to be warming up, bringing a little heat into the body, getting our heart rates up a little bit. Inhale, reach up. And exhale. So we're going to be hinging at the hips, hips back, belly in. And bend your legs as much as you need to. So you want to actually be bringing your ribcage towards your thighs. Keeping your body as straight as possible, as opposed to before when we were kind of rounding like that. Now we want to keep the chest open, the torso long. And just drop your fingertips to the floor. Drop your head. Inhale, look ahead of you. Hands on your shins. And exhale, bend your knees. Drop your head. Inhale, look ahead of you. long torso, long spine. And exhale, drop.
So you know how like you think of breakfast.
Inhale, look ahead of you, draw the belly in, and exhale, fold. Inhale, look ahead of you. And exhale, this time plant your hands. And come into your hands and knees. Actually, I lied, we're not doing sun salutations yet. We're just doing the cat and cow sequence. So inhale, open your chest, drop your tailbone, drop your belly. And exhale, draw the belly in, drop your head around your spine. Inhale, open the chest, look ahead of you. So hands right beneath your shoulders, knees aligned underneath your hips, toes tucked. And exhale, round the spine, drop your head, draw the belly in. Push the floor away from you. Inhale, open your chest, look ahead of you. And exhale, round the spine. Inhale, open the chest. And exhale. Inhale, this is cow position. And exhale, cat. Arching the back. And one more. Inhale, moving with your breath. And exhale. Good. And now just walk your knees back a little bit. Reach your hands forward. And just bring your chest towards the mat. So we're getting kind of a shoulder stretch here. Inhale. Exhale. Soften. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come closer to the mat. Good. Inhale, come up. And plant your hands. Look at your hands. Make sure that your fingers are spread wide apart. And really press your knuckles into the mat, especially the knuckles of these fingers, your index and thumb. Tuck your toes under and straighten back into downward dog. And you can just pedal your feet, bringing your heels towards the mat. Make sure that your shoulders are away from your ears. Press your hips up and back, belly in, chest open. And expanding the chest with each inhalation, lengthening your arms and torso, and pushing back with each exhalation. Head down. Good. Inhale the right leg up. Come forward and step your right foot through in between your hands. You can also just guide your foot between your hands. And exhale, drop your left knee. And we're just going to stay here in a stretch. Make sure that your knee is behind your ankle, not in front of it like this. And breathe. Breathing into your hip flexor and hamstring. And inhale, exhale. Bring your hips back. Point your toes up. And fold forward over your leg. Try to keep your torso long and your back straight. If it bothers your neck to look forward like this, you can go ahead and drop your head. Breathing deeply, inhale, come forward. Just ease into that stretch again. And straighten your left leg. Step back into plank. And we're just going to hold the plank for a couple breaths. Draw the belly in. Press the floor away from you. If you need to, you can drop your feet. Just make sure you're still engaging the core. Or drop your knees, rather, sorry. Try to keep your whole body in one line. So try to avoid being like this or sinking like this. So really use your core strength to push your body straight or with your knees down like that. Good. Inhale, exhale, come all the way down to the mat. Bring your forehead down, flip your feet. So the tops of your feet are pressing into the mat. Shoulders away from your ears and come up into baby cobra. And exhale, back down, tuck your toes under, press back downward dog. Good, and inhale, the left leg up, and step it through. Or again, use your hand to guide your foot forward. And stretching on the left side.
Yeah, I mean, it works.
Again, really imagine that you're sending your exhalations into your any tightness you feel, and just letting your breath release and soften.
Yeah, and instead of saying it sounds like they're saying
Any tension. And inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale forward. Exhale, come back into plank. Again, holding plank or modified. You can look a few feet ahead of you to keep your neck long. And exhale all the way down to the mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes under. Press back downward dog. And resting in downward dog for a few breaths. Also, anytime you need to, when we're in downward dog or any other time you feel like it's too much, you can always just rest in child's pose. Good, really lengthening with each exhalation in downward dog. And inhale, just step both feet forward. Look ahead of you, flat back, and exhale, fold. Remember to bend your knees if you need to. So if you have a block and you have any trouble just reaching the floor comfortably, you can always use a block. Or you can just rest your hands on your shins. Good, and inhale, look ahead of you, flat back. Grab your waist and come all the way up. Reach up. And exhale. Hands to heart. Okay, so now we're really going to start the sun salutations. Moving with the breath, warming up, and getting our heart rates up. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back, plank. Inhale, exhale, come down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes under, press back, downward dog. Inhale the right leg up, Step it through. Just look at the floor for balance because we're going to come up. And press your left heel away from you. Make sure that your knee, again, is behind your ankle, not in front of it like that. And inhale the arms up. And breathe, keeping the chest open. Just building strength in our legs. And inhale, lengthen, reach up. Exhale, we're going to cartwheel hands down, left hand down, and reach the right arm up in a twist.
Yeah. You're definitely coming.
And inhale, exhale, reach way forward, feeling length along your right side. Bring your right hand down and step back plank. Exhale, all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Taking a couple breaths here. And then inhale, left leg up, step it through. And come into your high lunge on your left side. And if the pace is too quick for you, that's fine. Just take a break in downward dog or child's pose. Come back into it whenever you feel like it. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Right hand down. Left arm up. Actually, I guess since this is on YouTube, you could even just pause the class and come back. Inhale, reach the left arm forward. And bring your hand all the way down. Step back plank. Exhale down. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, downward dog. And now we're going to rest in downward dog or child's pose for a few more breaths. So anytime you bring your head lower than your heart, it's an inversion.
Yeah.
And it's really good for the lymphatic system, which builds our immunity. So we're going to try to spend a little more time in inversions.
You know what evangelical Christianity is? Okay, that's what most of the really bad churches in this country, the ones that create all kinds of things, are evangelical. And it goes along with like believing that every word in the Bible.
Good. Inhale and just step forward. Step forward with the opposite foot from the one you stepped forward with last time. Look ahead of you and exhale, fold. And inhale, look ahead of you, hands on your waist. Engage your core, come all the way up. Reach up. And exhale, hands to heart.
You can trace that all the way to Jesus. So they say, well, if these people live in almost
and inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look ahead of you. Exhale, plant your hands, step back. Plank.
So what happens?
And this time you can we're going to go into chaturanga variations. So the first level of chaturanga is just what we've been doing, coming all the way down to the mat. Second level is your knees down. And then you bring your elbows in and come down and just stay here like in a low push-up. And then go from there into cobra. And then third variation, if you are experienced, you can come down without bending your knees into a low push-up and then inhale up into upward dog, this is cobra. And this is upward dog. So it's similar to cobra, but you straighten your arms and lift your knees off the mat. Okay, so from plank, take any variation of chaturanga. I'll just do the medium one. And inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog.
actually thinking they're wrong and simple and projecting all that outward. You know what I mean? Like it's
And inhale the right leg up. Step it through or guide it through. Left heel down. Left toes pointing towards the front left corner of the mat. And this is warrior one. So you want to have your hips facing forward as much as possible, but still you're having your left heel down. You can either press into the outer or inner edge of your left foot. So if it's easier for you to have your hips forward, then you can kind of be like this. Just try to have your heel down. Yeah, and arms up.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just,
Breathing.
it's like when these rich people talk about the way you get rich is hard work, and people are poor just because they're lazy.
And inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Turn slightly out to the side. Straighten your right leg. And reach way forward over your toes. And we're going to take triangle. So you want to try to keep your body in one straight line. Your shoulders back, your chest open. So we're not folding over the leg like this. We're trying to really open the body and bring the shoulders back. So that's more important than how far down your right hand is going on your leg. But I guess just go down as far as you can while keeping your shoulders and chest open and your body in one straight line. And hold. Just for a couple more breaths. Good. Inhale, exhale. Reach way forward. Bring your hands down and step back plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And inhale the left leg up, step it through. Warrior one. And you may notice that the sides, your left and right side, feel different in the same pose, and that's normal.
So it's hard to get a balance. You know what a compound is.
Inhale, lengthen, exhale. Straighten the left leg. Reach way forward and find your triangle pose.
So if you borrow $100, say, here you go. Yes, you've got to. Well, because of that.
And inhale, exhale, reach forward. Bring both hands down. Step that plank. Chaturanga. Cobra. And downward dog. And this time resting either in downward dog or child's pose for a few more breaths. Remember to really lengthen your arms and torso as you exhale.
Yeah, that's
Good. Inhale up between your hands. Step both feet forward. Lengthen and exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen again. Bring your hands onto your waist. Come all the way up, engaging the core. Reach up. And exhale, hands to heart. Good. So that was actually 2 sun salutation A's, or kind of modified. Now we're going to do sun salutation B. So inhale, exhale, sit back in chair pose. So you want to bring your hips back, look down, make sure you can see your toes. So your knees are behind the toes. And just take a moment to adjust your pelvis so it's nice and neutral. You don't want to be sticking your butt out too much like that. You want to use your core to kind of have a nice neutral pelvis and feel nice long spine and lower back. And inhale your arms up. So again, for this, you can either have your feet touching or be hip distance apart.
See, I didn't really experience that.
If you are going hip distance apart, make sure that you know how wide your hips actually are, because most people think their hips are like this far apart, but it's actually more like that usually. So,
Yeah, all they really have
all right, chair pose.
Various things traveling, something for
A for what?
Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands to heart, and we're gonna twist to the right. So we're gonna bring our left elbow onto our right thigh and look over the right shoulder. These twists are also really good for the lymphatic system and your digestion.
when the public finds out that somebody is hurt,
So you're gonna press your hands towards the center of your chest as you exhale.
they put it all over the place. But these people most support it, so
Good. Inhale back to center. Exhale, see if you can sit a little deeper. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands to heart and twist to the other side.
it's like
Right elbow to left thigh, looking over the left shoulder. Pressing your hands towards the center of your chest to deepen the twist. But always make sure you do it gently. Yoga is not a competition. It's more about just connecting with your own body. Very good. Inhale back to center, arms out wide, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look ahead of you, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back plank, chaturanga, cobra, downward dog. And inhale the right leg up. Step forward. This time we're going to open up into warrior two. So warrior two has a little wider stance. Try to bend as deeply into your front leg as you can, making sure still that your knee is behind your ankle. And your left toe or back toe should be pointing towards the side of the mat instead of the front corner. So now your hips, instead of going forward, are going towards the side. And inhale your arms out and exhale. Gazing over your right fingertips. Full deep breathing.
I think what we should have is farms with the chickens that have to like, I think we should, if you don't become all vegans, we should
And inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, left hand back, right arm up. And reach behind you, feeling a nice stretch through your right side. Inhale back into warrior two. Exhale, side angle. So this is another one that there are several different levels for. You can rest your forearm on your thigh. You can bring your hand or fingertips down in front of your foot, or bring your hand or fingertips behind your foot and kind of press your leg into your arm to open up into the pose. And then exhale, reach the left arm forward, feeling a deep stretch through your left side. And inhale, reach, exhale, left hand down, pivot onto the ball of your left foot, and open up. We did this twist earlier. Opening up your right hands towards the ceiling. Opening your chest and shoulders. And exhale, reach way forward, bring your hand down, and step back, plank, chaturanga, upward dog or cobra, and downward dog. Good, and other side now. Inhale the left leg up, step it through, and find your warrior two.
You get muscle tissue of chickens or pigs without it has no composite. It's not. All it is
Gazing over your left fingertips, keeping the chest open, shoulders away from the ears.
There's no brain, there's no nerves, there's no consciousness. It's subtle. It's creepy.
Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, reverse warrior. Right hand on right thigh.
I don't know what happened as a kid.
Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle.
If you give it the right nutrition, and the cells will divide and grow, not order to develop, according to the same instructions that it has in its cells and genes.
Inhale, reach. Exhale, both hands down and pivot onto the ball of your foot. Open up to the left side in a twist. Right hand on the floor, left hand up. Opening the chest. And inhale, exhale, reach way forward. Bring your hand down. Step back plank, chaturanga, upward dog or cobra, and downward dog. And again, this is our resting place. We're going to spend a few breaths here, or in an optional child's pose.
Exactly. Well, I think he still would need
Again, child's pose is down like this, bringing your hips towards your heels, knees open, and just folding forward. You can also have your hands back to your sides.
You know, and the whole process of that actually do you know how to do it? All those cows are
Good. Inhale the left leg up. Step forward with both hands. Look ahead of you. And exhale, fold.
Yeah, I know, it's funny, but yeah, it is.
Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale. Good. Hopefully everyone is feeling a little more warm. Got your heart rate up a little bit during those sequences. And now we're just going to work on balance a little bit, doing a couple standing poses. So tree pose. Either bring your feet together in mountain pose or feet apart. And shift your weight onto one side, onto one foot. Find a place on the floor about 6 feet in front of you that you can gaze at, just a little dot on the floor, piece of dust or something. Anything that's not moving, because that's going to help you keep your balance, because you're going to be balancing on one foot. So here is the first position. You can just use your toe to help balance. And here's the second position, around your calf. Make sure you don't, this is not a position on the knee. You want to avoid the knee. So the next position is your inner thigh. And then if you practice lotus pose, then you can do it in lotus pose. And just stay here balancing, staying with your breath. Inhale the arms up. Good, and release. And now you can either keep practicing tree if it's something new to you or you're just working on it, or we're going to do a kind of a hip opener and forward bend on one leg. So bring your, if you want to do that, then bring your ankle over your knee. Sit back, so in kind of a one-legged chair. Start to feel your hip open And then fold forward, reach your fingertips towards the floor. Look up just for a moment to square your hips and shoulders and fold. Drop your head. And breathe.
We're not doing that. There are more people in California.
And inhale, look ahead of you one more time. Exhale, bend your knees slightly. And come all the way up and out. And shake it out if you want to. Good, other side, tree pose. So again, I'll go through all the levels here. Make sure you're gazing at the floor. It's something that's not moving. Actually, I'm just going to stay in this one. This is kind of the most common variation of the pose. And inhale, reach up. And exhale. And again, if you want to go into the forward bend, bring your ankle over your knee. Sit back, one-legged chair. Reach down, inhale, look ahead of you, square your hips and shoulders. And exhale, drop your head. And breathe deeply. Good, inhale, look ahead of you, bend your knees slightly and come all the way up. And exhale, both feet on the floor. And shake it out. Good, so now we're going to, facing the side of your mat, come into a wide standing straddle. Make sure that your toes are pointed either forward or slightly in and not out like that. And bring your hands to your waist. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips. Drop your fingertips onto the mat. Inhale again, and just come up, lengthening the spine. And exhale, fold, and drop your head. So lengthening with each inhalation. And just releasing, lengthening the torso some more. Bringing your head closer to the floor with each exhalation. It's optional to use a block here as well, or a book. So you can bring your hands in line with your feet and aim towards bringing your head in line as well. But again, don't force anything. Good. Inhale, come halfway up. Bring your hands behind you, clasp your hands. Point your hands back, or raise your hands as much as you can to stretch your shoulders. And exhale, fold. This time dropping your hands behind you. And inhale, come halfway up. Bring your hands onto your waist. And then bring your hands back down to the floor. And heel toe your feet together until they're a little wider than hip distance apart. And this time you can have your toes pointed out if you want, or pointing forward. And just sit down into a squat. Shoulders into, hands into your heart. And you can use your elbows to kind of push your knees apart to find more of a stretch. But mainly we're just releasing the lower back here. So this is where we're kind of moving into the more restorative part of the practice. We're just going to be holding some stretches and seated poses for a little bit longer. Good, so from here, see if you can just turn towards the front of your mat. Left leg back and right knee forward. And we're coming into pigeon pose. So your right knee is going to be right behind your right hand. If you have trouble staying, like leveling your hips in this pose, if you're kind of falling to one side, you can place a blanket under that hip to align yourself. If you don't feel any kind of stretch in your hips like this, then you can try bringing your foot a little closer, your foot a little closer to your left hand. Alternately, if this pose is just not working for you at all, then you can do it on your back. So for that, you would just bring your right ankle right below your left knee and thread your hands through it kind of in a figure 4, and then press your right knee away from you as you draw your left thigh towards you. And then you're still getting the same hip stretch. Okay, so pigeon. Inhale, open the chest. And exhale, come down onto your forearms. And you can drop your head, because we're going to stay here for a few breaths. Again, breathing deeply. Deep and full inhalations and exhalations. Sending your exhalations into any tension in your hips, letting the tension soften and release. Good, and inhale, look up. Walk yourself back onto your hands. And find your way back into kind of a one-legged downward dog. And just roll circles with your knee. Just noticing how your hip feels on that side. And from here, just moving on to the other side. So bring your left knee behind your left hand. Again, optional to use some kind of support if you're falling to one side, or go onto your back. Or if you want to kind of deepen the pose and bring your your foot a little closer to your right hand. And inhale, open the chest. Exhale, fold. And breathe. Good. Inhale up. Walk back onto your hands. And find your way back into one-legged downward dog. Roll circles with your knee. Or just open up to the side. Good. And then just come down onto your knees. We're going to do kind of an inversion, sort of a modified headstand. So don't worry if you don't, well, if you do headstand, then go for it. If you don't do it, don't worry, we'll still have our feet on the floor. So just grab both of your elbows. So that's how far apart you want your elbows to be on the mat. And then clasp your hands. And then just lift up like you're in downward dog and bring your shoulders over the elbows. And then drop your head so that your hands are cradling your head, keeping your neck long. And that's just where we're going to stay unless you are experienced with headstand and you want to go into full headstand. Make sure you're really pressing your arms into the mat to take the weight off of your neck and head. And we're going to hold it for a few breaths. If you want to get a little closer to how a headstand feels like, you can just walk your toes forward. You can even be on your toes like this. Just bring your hip more vertical. Good, and release or come down if you're in headstand. And just rest in child's pose. Good, inhale up. And find your way into a seated position. And just going to bring the soles of our feet together and then open our feet out like a book into butterfly pose. So opening your feet should bring your knees a little closer to the mat. But wherever you are, don't worry, because the purpose of this pose is just to open your hips. So if your hips are really tight and your knees aren't going anywhere towards the floor, that's fine, because that's what this pose is for. Inhale, open the chest, and exhale, just fold forward. And you can either keep a straight back and reach your chin forward and your chest towards your feet, or you can round your spine and drop your head towards your feet. You can also use a block here. And use your elbows to really push your thighs down. So to push your knees down towards the mat. Lengthen as you inhale, release and soften as you exhale. Hopefully each exhalation will just bring you like a small micro amount deeper into the pose. Good, and inhale, slowly come up. Maybe shake it out. And if you have some kind of pillow or bolster, or just some blocks, then go ahead and grab those. And just bring it in front of you like this. And come into a wide seated straddle. Pretty much as wide as you can get your feet apart. So it helps to kind of be sitting on the mat sideways, because you can kind of use the stickiness of the mat to open your legs a little bit more by pushing forward with your fingertips. And then we're just gonna inhale, open the chest straight back, and exhale, fold. So this is where it might be nice to have a bolster or a pillow, because you can just kind of rest on that. And breathe. Just feel your muscles releasing and softening. Good. Inhale, slowly come back up. And just bring your legs together, shake it out. And we're gonna take a brief intermission from the restorative poses and do a little bit of core work right now. So, because the core is just so important to every kind of position you do in yoga. So we're gonna move into bow pose. Make sure your chest is open, your back is straight, so try to avoid slumping back like that. Use your core to bring your torso forward and lengthen it. And lean back So you're bringing your feet off the mat. You can stay right here if this is challenging for you, challenging enough. Or you can release the legs and your palms are as close to your body as possible, facing each other. Or actually it helps to support if you're going to straighten your legs, and then you can go ahead and release. And this is a challenging pose, so don't worry if you're struggling. Again, any of those variations I showed before are still beneficial. Good, and release that. And we're going to cross our legs. Place your hands and just try to pick up anything at all. And release. And then just one more of those boat poses. So again, you can be like this. Or go ahead and straighten the legs. And again, try to keep your back straight. Good, and this time we're going to slowly come down with control onto our backs. Just a little bit at a time, so really using your core here. Keep your shoulders up, and when your lower back hits the mat, just feel that core connection. Keep your shoulders up, keep your legs up. And release. Draw your knees into your chest. And you can draw little circles on your back for a massage. Good. And straighten your left leg. Keep your right knee bent. And just bring your right knee over to the left side. Reach your right arm out. And look at your right hand or towards it. Good. Inhale. Hug your knees into your chest. And exhale the other side. Good. Inhale, bring your knees into your chest. And preparing for bridge pose. So if you have a block, then pick the block and you can do kind of a supported bridge pose to help bring your hips up a little higher and your heart up a little higher. So just place it lengthwise if you can, right under your sacrum. Shoulders back, opening the chest, neck neutral and long. If you don't have a block, then make sure that your toes are pointed forward or slightly in and not splayed out to the sides. If you don't have a block, then press your arms into the mat and just raise your hips up. Keeping your chest open. If you want to go a little deeper into it, you can clasp your hands underneath you and walk your feet back a little bit. So if you have the block, it's nice to just have that support there. Good. Go ahead and release if you haven't already. We're going to move into one more inversion, shoulder stand. So this is where it would be nice if you have some blankets or just one blanket folded up. So place the blanket so that there's room behind it for your head. It's just gonna support our shoulder stand and our shoulders. So come back again so that your head, pretty much just the top of your shoulders are near the edge of the mat, and your head and neck are off of the blanket. I mean, if you don't have a blanket, I mean, everyone should have a blanket because you're at home, right? But if you don't for some reason, then you can just fold the mat over. And actually, you can fold the mat over even with the blanket if you want. And just lift your hips up. So if you've been doing shoulder stand before, you'll notice how this feels a little different with the support. Make sure you adjust so that your shoulders are really on the blanket. You can also bring your feet back to get your hips a little higher first. So you want to try to have your body as vertical as possible. And then bring your legs up. If you have a shoulder injury or a neck injury, and this is not comfortable for you at all, then you can just lie on your back with your knees up, or you can go towards a wall and put your feet up the wall. And continue to breathe deeply. Good. And then if you do plow, then go ahead and drop your legs behind you. And you can keep your toes tucked under and kind of stretch your heels and your Achilles tendon and the backs of your legs. If you want to stretch your shoulders while you're in this pose, you can clasp your hands and bring them to the floor. Keep your neck long, keep breathing. And if you want, you can drop your knees towards your ears. Just give a little squeeze. And then come out of the pose with control. And we're going to place our hands on the mat, bring our hips on top of our hands. Actually, I guess you're going to need to remove the blanket. And then come down onto your elbows, open the chest, and drop the head back. So this is fish pose. It's the counter pose to a shoulder stand. Opening the chest, lengthening the front of your neck, and look up towards the tip of your nose or the ceiling. Good, and then just release that. Reach over your head, point your toes. So just coming to a last full body stretch before we rest in Shavasana. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Reach in both directions. Take a moment, just tense. See if you can tense every muscle just for a moment. Squeeze your eyes shut, hold your breath. And then release. Find your Shavasana pose, final resting pose. You can just lie on your back with your palms facing up and let your feet fall out to the sides. Make sure you're fairly comfortable. Or you can use a pillow or bolster. This is a great chest opener if you have a bolster like this. You can just lie like that. Or you can bring your feet together in reclined butterfly. Or you can use blocks between your shoulder blades. And just release your Ujjayi breath, coming back into your regular breathing. And release. Scan your body from your toes to the top of your head. Releasing any remaining tension. Feeling heavy on the mat, almost as if you're melting. Letting go of any thinking or planning. Just listening to your breath and to any sound, like outside sounds. And close your eyes. So I'm just going to guide you through the relaxation. Relax your toes. Relax your feet. Relax your ankles. Relax your lower legs. Relax your knees. Relax your upper legs. Relax your hips. Relax your belly. Relax your lower spine and tailbone, lower back. Relax your middle back. Relax your upper back. Relax your shoulders. Relax your upper arms. Relax your elbows. Relax your lower arms. Relax your wrists. Relax your hands and fingers. Relax your chest. Relax your throat.
How's things going?
Relax your neck.
Glad to hear it. We're about to go practice, so I just want to
Relax your mouth and jaw.
You're not hungry, right?
Relax your cheeks. Relax your eyes. Relax your forehead. Relax your entire body. Letting any remaining tension release. Feeling heavy on the mat. And while your body is feeling heavy on the mat, see if you can feel kind of any inner energy. Visualize it as a kind of light reaching through your entire body. And imagine that light in your inner body, the energy, is just lifting up out of your body and floating. So your body is completely heavy and relaxed, but your spirit or life energy is light. And just slowly start to wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing your awareness back into the space around you. And whenever you're ready, reach your arms over your head for another stretch. And slowly roll onto one side, bringing one knee up and then the other, and resting on your arm. And slowly push yourself back into a comfortable seated position. And I'm just going to take a moment to think of 3 things that you're especially grateful for in your life right now. It can be anything big or small. And then just sit with that feeling, giving that feeling to yourself. And now take that feeling and send it out to anyone you think might need it right now. Just a feeling of positivity and light and gratitude. And that is the conclusion of the class. Thank you all for joining me today and in this practice. Please stay safe and healthy. Enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend. Namaste. And let me know if you have any comments, feedback, or suggestions. Hopefully the chat will be working next week. I was really hoping that this could be more interactive, but yeah, hopefully next week. And stay safe.